Hey everyone, in this module, we will discuss the importance of active listening and nonverbal communication when interacting with employees, because effective leaders not only speak well, but also listen attentively and respond to nonverbal cues. This enables leaders such as yourselves to understand your employees' concerns, their ideas, and their emotions better, fostering a supportive and collaborative work environment. So, we're going to delve deep into the key aspects of active listening and nonverbal communication, including things like eye contact, body posture, mirroring, and more. And while also providing some real life videos and real life uh, examples to decompose and enhance your understanding. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to start by showing you guys two videos. This is the first video. Maybe we can watch it a few times, but you see how this leader is interacting with his employee. You see his body language is very tight, very animated. You see his facial expressions. You can see the pose that he's holding right now conveys disappointment. um, he makes no effort to be open and actually listen to what his employees have to say, but in fact just wants to talk without really being heard. You can see his gestures are very strong. His body language is pretty negative. Let me show you another video, and we can watch this video a few times as well. But we can see this leader talking with his employee. You see how he's slightly leaning in? He actually is conveying that he values what the other person is saying is and is attentively listening just by leaning in. We can see that the pose he's holding right now is actually one of attentiveness. He's maintaining eye contact while listening. He's nodding. You see like his nods there, um, and he's actually creating a very conducive environment to allow the employee to speak their opinion, to prosper, and really building trust with his employee. And how is this leader doing this? He's doing this through some great examples of active listening and his nonverbal communication. So, after looking at these two videos, we clearly see which the better example of active listening is, and we can clearly see the result that it has on the employee as well. But now let's go ahead and discuss some key elements that we can pick out that not only make this leader a better active listener, but will also make you a better active listener when it comes to interacting with your employees. The first thing we want to talk about is eye contact, because what eye contact does is that it demonstrates attentiveness and respect. Successful leaders always emphasize the importance of maintaining eye contact when listening to employees, because it shows attentiveness and respect. It shows that you care. It shows that you're interested in what the other person has to say and that you're tuned in. Avoiding eye contact and constantly looking away can actually signal disinterest or discomfort, actually undermining trust and communication. Don't you hate it when you're talking to one of your friends or your colleagues and you all just see them looking at your phone, looking at their phone or looking outside the window? They don't doesn't really seem like they're interested in what you have to say, right? So as a leader, maintaining eye contact is crucial. The second thing I want to talk about is body posture. Now, whenever you're speaking with your employees and whenever you want to show attentive listening or active listening, you want to adopt an open and relaxed body posture, fostering a sense of approachability and receptiveness. Think about the good example. The body posture was so relaxed, it was so open, they were leaning in, really showing that they were ready to listen to the employee. So avoid doing things like crossing your arms, leaning away, or even hunching over, as it can create barriers to communication and actually make employees feel unheard or dismissed, as we saw in the first example. Another great technique that we can use is a technique called mirroring, because mirroring really helps in building rapport and building understanding. So what mirroring is that we want to subtly match an employee's body language, their energy, their vibe, quote unquote, that they're projecting to create a sense of rapport and enhance understanding as demonstrated by a lot of great leaders. So, for example, if your employee is in a really good mood and they're showing a high level of energy, maybe you want to match that energy. Maybe you want to match the pace at which you're talking. You want to do the subtle mirroring to actually go ahead and enhance your communication. However, be mindful not to overdo this. Otherwise, it's going to come off as you're mocking them, and it's insincere, inappropriate. We don't want to do that. So use mirroring appropriately and at the right level to enhance understanding when listening to employees. This is actually a technique that I found really helpful, and I'm pretty sure that you will as well. Now, the other thing you want to do is you want to use your acknowledgement signals to encourage open communication. We saw this in the good example, where when the other person is talking, you want to use some acknowledgement signals. So you want to nod your head, you want to tilt your head every now and then. So you can see, or rather, the other person can see that you're actually listening to them and you're not wandering off into space or thinking about something else. So, this can be something as simple as nodding while the other person is talking, or, saying something like, okay, yeah, oh, yeah, you're right. I see. Just some small signals like that to really show that you're tuned in to what the other person has to say. Now, the last element that we can employ to really enhance our active listening and nonverbal communication with employees is facial expressions, because facial expressions allow us to display empathy and understanding. So, what we want to do is we want to maintain a neutral or empathetic facial expression while listening to employees, and not have any overly exaggerated facial expressions or inappropriate expressions that can actually hinder uh, effective communication. So, for example, we saw in the first video where the guy had such exaggerated facial expressions, such exaggerated gestures, clearly showing disappointment. And you know what? The employee had nothing to say. They were just simply walking out because they didn't feel that the leader at all wanted to hear what they had to say. They just wanted to express what they felt, which is not the point of active listening. So we actually want to use our facial expressions to display empathy and understanding, fostering a supportive and compassionate environment for employees. So overall, active listening and nonverbal communication are essential leadership skills that facilitate open and effective communication with employees. By mastering some of the things that we've talked about, like eye contact, body posture, mirroring, our acknowledgement signals, and our facial expressions, we as leaders can create a supportive and collaborative environment where employees feel heard and employees feel valued.